We're live.
But
Ready what you do.
Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining us to participate in this final family webinar series from Fort Hays State University. We are excited today to have representatives from our Academic Advising and Career Exploration Center, as well as the Office of Career Services, who are here to share with you resources to help your students succeed in the career arena while they are a Fort Hays State University student and beyond. This is the final show within our year-long webinar series. Very soon you will be receiving a survey from Alyssa Mustard, Graduate Assistant for Family and Transfer Engagement, to solicit feedback to give us topics as we plan next year's family webinar series that will kick off in July. So without further ado, I will pass the microphone over to our presenters this evening. I will allow them to introduce themselves as two offices are represented, so I believe we're going to begin with the Academic Advising and Career Exploration Center.
Hi, welcome. My name is Patricia Griffin, and I'm the Director of the Academic Advising and Career Exploration Center. And one of the things that we want to talk to you about today is actually having a realization of what it is like for new students when they actually come to campus in regards to career advising as a first-time freshman. So many of our students across the country, not just local to our institution, are realizing that when they come to campus that they need some type of career counseling. 21% of those students report that they're extremely confused or very confused about which career or occupation to pursue. So although your student may have come to campus with a major in mind, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have an understanding of what a career path for that major would look like. And across the country, we're seeing more and more of that over the last 10 years. So one of the things that our office does is to work with freshmen, whether they are actually exploratory students or they are students who have already declared a major. And just to give you an idea of some of the things that are actually happening, when you look across the last 5 years, nationally, Noah Levitz does a research initiative every year to look at what freshman attitudes are when they're coming into higher education. And we are seeing over that average around 46% over a 5-year period have continued to indicate that they need some help in selecting the occupation that is the most suited toward their interests and their abilities, because they're really not sure about what that actually means. And we see a lot of that because a lot of students only are familiar with things that they've seen on TV or they've experienced throughout their life by knowing someone who does that or knowing of someone in their area where they're living that's actually performing a certain occupation. The attitude report also is saying that even though I may have a major and I've made a decision, I'm still confused about what that major can actually lead to. And a lot of times we do see students who come onto our campus, as well as students across the country, who are indicating that, okay, I have a major, you know, this is something I've thought about intentionally, but I don't know what that means. And a lot of times students are real hesitant to admit that they don't know that, and to realize that every career path can have more than one way to split off from that career path, because a major in an area a lot of times anymore, and I'm sure you'll probably hear more about this, is employers want to see people who have actually been able to make a commitment to something, that have developed a set of skills that is going to allow them to be prepared for that. But looking at, you know, what have the alumni done in your department? What are people nationally doing when they're leaving college with a specific major? And on our campus, we work with each of our academic departments for them to actually review our list of what can I do with a major in on a regular basis, so that they can add or take off careers that align or don't align any longer with their major. for what students would actually be looking at. So we're wanting to make sure that they have an understanding, and I know when we talk to a class or talk to a group of students who say, hey, I know what my major is, the question is, do you know at least 5 different things that you can actually do with that major? Are there 5 career paths that you're well aware of that you could actually go down from that point? Because we're wanting them to realize that that is actually out there and to help them. And so that's part of the reason we have our office, to be able to serve students who are exploratory, but also students who have chosen a major but they're not sure what that really means for them. So in our center, the Academic Advising and Career Exploration Center, we advise a variety of exploratory students. We also work with some students who are non-degree seeking students, and we do advising, specifically academic advising for exploratory students. We also do career advising for those individuals, but we serve as an on-campus referral resource for majors, so students who may be applying to an area that has limited admission, teacher education, radiology, nursing, a field that they don't just get to come in and they're automatically admitted into that major, but they have to meet certain prerequisites, go through an application process to be considered for a major. But we're there to help them too. So if they're thinking, hey, I might need a plan B because what if I don't get admitted when I thought, what am I going to do at that point? So we also do that and work with advisors across our campus who are working with students who have questions about what can I do, or am I really in the right place? And our exploration services are provided for enrolled students who are exploring or looking to confirm a major choice that they already have. So I'm going to turn this over to Nikki Brown, who is the coordinator of exploratory advising and career services in our office, to talk to you about specifically what those services would look like.
The services that we offer for career exploration are very intentional as far as making sure that when students come, they're not overwhelmed by trying to make decisions on what they want to do with the rest of their life, but that they're also provided services that are going to assist them as they continue through their time at Fort Hays. So one of the first things that we make available to our students is the My Majors assessment. My Majors is one of the assessments that we utilize through our office that helps to give students an idea on majors that could possibly be a good fit for them. They answer questions in this assessment on their interests, values, and their academic history, and it generates a top 10 majors list for them. The important thing to remember with assessments in general, we expose prospective students to this as well as our freshman students in the freshman seminar class, but what we're intentional about letting them know is no one assessment is going to dictate to them what they should be doing with the rest of their life. Assessments are simply guidance tools that help them to identify areas that they should be looking at and they should do additional research on to make sure that they are good fits for them. So if your student were to do an assessment and goes, hey, this tells me I should be a business manager, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right fit for them. So what we do in our office is help them to look at those assessment results, really dig into why are those kind of things populating for them, and do they have interest in those types of things, or are there related pathways that they should be looking at to help them identify an appropriate major and an appropriate career path. So again, this is something that they're exposed to in their first semester at the university. Another thing that they're exposed to is our Majors and Graduate Programs Fair. Our Majors and Graduate Programs Fair is offered every fall semester and is an opportunity for students to really be able to see all the academic opportunities that they have available to them at the university. A variety of students, when they come to college, change their major 5 to 7 times. And the bulk of that happens within their freshman year. And part of the reason is they're not aware of all of the different academic opportunities they have within the university. Again, it's what they're exposed to in their personal life. What they see on TV is what they think they can do. They don't realize that there's opportunities such as tourism and hospitality or leadership studies. So our Majors Fair helps to expose them to all of those different options, so that way as they continue into their second and third semester, they can make informed decisions based on what opportunities are available to them, the coursework that's involved with that, and if those things truly align with the kind of careers they're wanting to pursue. This year's event in the fall is going to be hosted on October 14th. Again, we host it roughly around that same time every year because our incoming freshmen truly need that exposure as to what all is here. And sometimes for those that have declared, it's a great opportunity for them to meet a variety of individuals within their department and begin that networking process to create good references that they'll need later on in their junior and senior year. A couple of additional services that we offer are our major and career exploration class as well as our career exploration that's in office. These two services are things that we don't encourage first-time freshmen to do. We don't allow them to take the class or complete the career exploration services until they've completed one full semester in college. Whether that's at Fort Hays or if they attended a junior college and then transferred, they have to complete one semester in college. After they've done that, we feel they're acclimated to the university. They've got a little bit better understanding of what college is. That second semester, they're typically a little bit better prepared and more well-informed to be able to make decisions on what they want to do with the rest of their life. So the major and career exploration course that we offer is a 1-credit-hour course that's 8 weeks long. The course is designed to be able to take students through a guided process to help them to research themselves and learn about the things that they really enjoy and how those things tie to career paths. And then we also assist them in how to do the research, how to figure out if a major is a good fit, how to find occupational trends, how to find all of that basic information from how much money they could make upon graduation to are there going to be job opportunities when they graduate. So this class takes them through all of that. The important thing with the career class for them to realize is it is a 1-credit-hour elective. It can count towards degree programs if they have electives within that program. And we're very upfront with students on that standpoint. So if they're not interested in paying tuition for the class or if they don't have electives within their program of study, the next best option for them is our free career exploration. This is our in-office service that's free of charge for students that are enrolled. So they must currently be taking classes from Fort Hays to be able to go through this. But it's a 3-appointment process where they work one-on-one with a career advisor in our office. In those appointments, students will do a variety of assessments and work with that career advisor to really figure out, one, why those assessments say what they say, how to interpret them and use that information to make decisions, but again, how to do the academic research. And the most important thing I believe in that is connecting them to faculty and staff in the areas they're interested in. All students that complete our career exploration class or in-office service have to do information interviews with people that are either teaching in their major field or individuals working in their occupational area to be able to really make sure that they have good knowledge, not just assumptions on what they would do, to make sure that the choice they're making is the very best choice for them. And our goal is to really eliminate those 5 to 7 major changes and hopefully get them down to where they're making maybe 1 or 2 and finding the right academic fit and then making minor adjustments within there. So the last service that we offer is actually in conjunction with career services. Our career development curriculum was something that was just launched on campus not quite 2 weeks ago. It's a very new service for students where it takes them through a curriculum for their 4 years at the university and gives them action steps they should be completing to make sure that they're making well-informed major decisions, but also that they're attending the right career fairs and getting the coaching that they need to be good prospective employees upon graduation. This, again, is available free of charge to enrolled students through our TigerLink system, and it's something that they can begin working on their freshman year. And the goal is that they'll complete at least anywhere between 2 or 3 action steps a year that will get them to that 4-year or 5-year point to be able to join the workforce in an occupational area that they're really going to enjoy. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Dan and let him speak a little bit more about what Career Services is doing.
Good evening. My name's Dan Rice, and I'm going to show you a video, first of all, to kind of give you an overview of our career services and all that we do for our students. It takes about 2 minutes. Well, I guess we're not going to show you the video. However, we do have our first page up on our website, and at the bottom of that page, when you go to our web page, you'll see at the bottom a video that gives a real quick overview of all of our services. I want to mention also that our web page is very comprehensive. There's a lot of information on there because we work with a lot of virtual students, and so hopefully you will encourage your students to check out our web page and see all the things that are on it. The next page is kind of what we call our Career Services resume, and it talks about all the different services that we have available. The main thing is that I like to share with students and with parents that it's important that students understand that employers, graduate schools make the rules, and we need to teach the students how to play the game, stay in the game, so that they'll be chosen for graduate school or for employment. And on our Career Services webpage, we talk about resume and cover letter assistance, interviewing, networking, job search booklet. We have career fairs, credential files, internships. The list goes on and on and on. The key to us is getting students started early. A lot of students think that they need to wait till they're a senior to start the job search, and they really start the job search the first day they set foot on campus. And it's a process that they need to go through. The more time they spend with us, the more time they spend with academic advising, the more successful they'll be. We have seniors that come in our office after they've graduated and say, hey, I don't have a clue what I can do with this degree. I need a job. How can you help me? Obviously, they haven't visited academic advising and they haven't visited our office. On the other hand, we'll have a student that comes in our office the senior year before school's even started, and we'll say, hey, I have a couple of job offers. Do you think I should take one of these job offers or continue with the job search? And they pay $50,000, $60,000 a year, and if we sign early, we'll get a $10,000 signing bonus. These are the type of students that we want to work with, and these are the type of students that start early and work with us over a period of time so we have more success with us. Okay, this page that we have is, I'm sorry, we need to back up. This is our interface, our actual for students to register with our office at the freshman and sophomore year is not too early. Part of that process is putting together a resume, and we do help freshmen and sophomores as well as junior seniors put together a resume, and then we encourage those students to check back with us each semester to keep their resume updated and to continue to add value to their resume. All the information for registering for our Careers for Tigers program is on this page. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes. The next page is information about Careers for Tigers. Once you've registered with us, once we've got your resume out there, we know you, we give you more attention than a student that's not registered with us. We actually email the students, we call the students about really good internships and jobs. They have to be signed up with us in order to interview on campus. It also gives them other opportunities for us to promote those students 24/7. And we have employers from all over the United States. Most are local, regional, within a 3-4 state area, but they're constantly looking for the students that are on that web page, and they will contact the students directly. So I share with students, I can guarantee them more opportunities if they're registered with us versus not being registered with us. I can't guarantee them that they'll have a specific job in a specific location with a specific social life, but I can guarantee them more opportunities. So this is the second page of that. We'll go on to the next page. We also operate Jobs for Tigers, and I know it's confusing. Careers for Tigers are for internships, full-time jobs, and life after Fort Hays. Jobs for Tigers are part-time jobs and temporary employment while they're students at Fort Hays. And that can be registered online, and we also have registration in our office for students. And I encourage students to use this site if they're able to work. I don't want students to be working 40 hours a week and taking a full load. But if they can get a 15-hour-a-week job part-time, many times these jobs are career-related to their major. It adds value to their resume, and many times they'll lead to a full-time employment. So it's just another way for students to get connected with real-world work experience that's related to the majors. And these jobs change from semester to semester. So again, we encourage students to check that site out at least once a semester, if not more often. Okay, now I just want to mention a couple other quick things. I've gone through this really quick, and I will again reiterate that it's important to check out the website. It's important to know, and the students need to know, that some majors have better employment opportunities than others. It's pretty obvious. You can go to our career fair and you'll see the organizations that are there and those that may not be there in such great numbers, so there's a big difference there. The second thing is, most of the employers are telling us 2/3 or more are saying if you don't have a 3.0 or better GPA, you're going to limit your employment opportunities. Those same employers are saying if you do not have an internship, you're limiting your opportunities too. One other thing, we do offer career fairs every fall and every spring. We'll have 75 to 85 organizations there representing all majors. And these are opportunities for students to actually start interviewing with employers as early as their freshman year. And I tell students if they interview with career fair employers, they can interview 100 times before they ever leave campus. And that's a pretty good thing to kind of get some feedback on their skill sets, their level of preparation, and what they need to do to be better qualified candidates. It's a hard sell for freshmen, but it's a great information. It's a good litmus test, if you will, to find out what they need to do to be ready for the next level, life after Fort Hays. We also have a very extensive mock interview day program. We do it every fall and every spring. Again, we provide this opportunity for our students to learn how to interview for a college-level internship or a full-time job. So I would encourage your freshmen and sophomores to participate in those too. I will have this year, as I've had in the past, I will have freshmen doing internships this summer in their major field. I will also have those seniors that I mentioned before that aren't really prepared for life after Fort Hays. So we provide all these opportunities. We want the students to start early, freshmen and sophomores, get involved, and let us help them get there. And I can also tell you that we get a lot of feedback from the employers saying they can certainly tell which students have done the mock interviews and which students have not, which students have used career services to help prepare professional resumes and which students have not. And as I mentioned earlier, we teach the students how to play the game, and employers use things like a poor resume, poor cover letter, poor dress, poor interviewing skills to eliminate candidates that in many cases could be a really good productive candidate, but these employers have these biases, they have these prejudices, so we want to get the students in our office so we can teach them how to overcome those biases, those prejudices, so that they do get the job and are very successful. We also help students with graduate school as well as employment. So I can say this, and I will end on this note, there are no guarantees out there for our graduates. But if they will work with us for 4 years, 3 to 5 years, whatever, and get a GPA that's a 2.75 or better, their chances are going to be really good for good, successful employment. Our motto is, we can help them get there. Thank you.
So at this point in time, we will take any questions. If you have a question, please feel free to type it in the chat box, and our representatives from the Academic Advising and Career Exploration Center and or the Office of Career Services will be glad to answer any questions that you might have. Well, if you do have any other questions, you have the contact information for Dr. Griffin, for Nikki, and for Dan on the screen. In addition, this webinar is being recorded, and this recording will be sent out from Melissa Mustard, our Graduate Assistant for Family and Transfer Engagement, who you would have received the invitation to participate in this webinar. As I said, this is our final webinar of the year. We do want you to save the date now. It will be coming out electronically from Melissa soon. September 25th through the 27th, this fall. We hope to see you on campus for Fort Hays State University Fall Family Weekend. It will be a jam-packed weekend full of events. You'll receive more information about that from Melissa Mustard throughout the next couple of weeks to save the date. Once again, thank you so much for taking time this evening to participate in this webinar and learn about these career resources to help your student be successful. Have a great evening.